Hello, folks. Well, welcome in. Um, our usual night. Lacking one ahead of us, Ben's moved his moved Wednesday night. Sorry if you can't hear me very good. My allergies are going crazy right now and haywire. So I may lose my voice. I don't know. Um, Unfortunately, we got a little bit of sad news. We lost Dan Sunday. He passed away. So we're down one dog. He, of course, he was old. So just to let y'all know that we lost a fur baby. Uh, Teddy's on as far as Teddy's schooling, it's going pretty good. Just a little bit of a break until they get some uh, one test rescheduled. Of course, you can explain better about the test. Hello, Homestead, where you are. It's okay, Allison. We knew it was coming. He was old. He was tired. You know, now I don't get it. Yeah, we miss him. Don't get me wrong. But he's better off now. He gets to be with his sister. And I think that's probably what another thing he's broken hearted because he didn't have his sister around. You know how dog animals make pals and stuff, and they tend to stick to one animal or another. Um, Sorry, notification. So he was pretty close to his sister, and when she passed away, he just kind of went downhill from there. I think he lived 2 years after she passed away.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so he lived two more years longer. But still, so we don't have any more American Black and Tan Coonhounds. Maybe one of these days, that might be, but that's farther down the road for now. Hello, full blown, welcome in. Um, Maybe one of these days we'll find some more. It's just gonna be later on down the road. We got too many other things going in, irons in the fire right now, and not enough time. So we'll wait on that one, and we'll just stick with Blue, Baby Dog, and Izzy for now. Of course, Baby Dog might be the next one since he's the oldest now, but he's still pretty active and healthy, so he might have a few more years ahead of him. Plus, smaller dogs live a little bit longer than larger dogs do too. What was that test you're supposed to take?
The MMPI.
Yeah, the MMPI.
They call it the crazy test.
That's the one they have to reschedule. They're just waiting for some paperwork to come through for that so they can reschedule it.
I feel okay. After we got done, I was sore and I still got whelps right here from it on the shoulder where they put the alligator prongs on the shirt. But I felt after that I felt energized. But yeah, I feel good.
That they did it a little differently. Normally they'll have a classmate stand on each side of them, and they'll tase the stupid notification. Sorry, they'll tase them so that way the two people can catch them. But since he didn't have any other classmates there that day, the instructor just asked him to lay down so that way it's safe for him and he's not hurt. Yeah, the tasing itself hurts. Don't get me wrong. Allison, I don't think it works that way.
No, it's just to make sure if you can like
make sure you're not mentally crazy.
Mentally.
Yeah. They don't want you pulling a gun if you don't need to.
Yeah, Pooch. I wanted to do that one, but technically they didn't want to do it that way, so
Well, he
made
probably
it-
would have had you had other classmates there that could help,
yeah.
but Ben's your classmates were scheduled for a different one
Then
and weren't on that phase.
And then
so.
yesterday's it was
Pepper spray.
pepper spray, so it was just getting the diagram on the best ones to get and how to use it.
Well, he would have pepper sprayed you, but he ran out.
Yeah, he was gonna pepper spray me. I got lucked out on that way. I was supposed to get pepper sprayed, but he got ran out of
Pepper spray.
pepper spray.
He uses one certain type on for his class than he does when he's actually doing his job. I mean, it's still the what do you say, gel?
The gel
Gel or foam type. He said, but and it's non-flammable, so that you don't light nobody up after when you're tasing them.
It has to. If you're gonna pepper spray them, make sure the canister says non-flammable.
Electric for electrical stuff.
For let's say if you're gonna pepper spray them, then shoot the taser at them and electrocute them. There's ones that makes it's flammable. So if you shoot the taser at them, it will light them up like a Roman candle. But you get one that's non-flammable.
That way you're not lighting them up like a Roman candle.
Mm-hmm.
So he ran out right before I think on his last one he did and forgot to order some, and he went to go get it and tried to test it to see if it was gonna spray any out. Nope.
Yeah, I got very lucky.
Hello Tish, welcome in.
Hello, howdy.
But yeah, so he kind of looked out on that one, just kind of gave him the instructions of what types, which ones were better and things like that, and what to do and what not to do with it. Better way to spray it. And so that was kind of his class yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then he's kind of on a little bit of a break until they get that MMPI test rescheduled. Yes, Allison, that's what his instructor said too. The gel's better because the gel actually sticks to them, whereas it doesn't get on the person spraying, just the one being sprayed. There is a mist one that, it gets them. It has a wider range, but it can fall back if the wind's blowing and it can hit the person who's spraying it, and then
And I have been pepper sprayed before, so I know how it goes.
Yeah, that's precisely why he said to use the non-flammable for electrical, because of that reason right there. Like you're talking about, they got maced, tased, and caught fire because they don't want that, because that's a legal lawsuit against them.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why they have safety protocols for them. So even, they're a bad guy, but still, I mean, there's different degrees of bad guys. It can be anywhere from a DUI or to a murderer. So you never know what the person's going to do. But that doesn't mean they deserve to be lit up like a Roman candle. So, and because they have to bring them in.
Mm-hmm.
I think they lose money if they catch fire.
Mm-hmm.
Because then they're gonna have to pay it. So they don't want them lighting them up like a candle. But he's been going through that.
Tish should be like a security guard, a PI, and a bail enforcement personnel is what I'm going in for.
I mean, he has multiple options. It's called CLEAT.
And I got the book.
Because police officers will take part of the course. Private investigators will take part of the course. Bail enforcement will take the course, you know. So it just depends on which one you're wanting to go into, and how many phases you have to take in order to get to what uh, line uh, of it you're wanting to go to.
And two, these phase one is the basics for the training, for the security and stuff, and then this one is the phase two for a security officer. This one is the private PI, but it's harder. It's harder to go through here than being a cop, than being a police officer. Has been that. Then the bell. Then phase 5 as a bell enforcer.
Yeah, 'cause you have phase 4 left to take after you get the crazy test rescheduled.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where he is on the schooling part of it.
And that is armed security.
Yeah. So they'll probably learn about that, and then he's got some studying to do before he takes the state test. Mm-hmm. And the state test is probably what's gonna be
the hardest.
Yeah. So it's gonna be steady. I think his instructor said he stayed a full 3 months before he actually took the test. So, and then they give you, after you pass the test, they give you a certain amount of time if you don't have the money to buy your license, but they'll hold on to your score of whether or not you pass the state test or not until for a certain amount of time. And then if you pass it, you can go back when you get the money, as long as it's within that time frame.
Yep.
And then, of course, he's going to have to get equipment like a taser gun and
pepper spray
and safety vest.
A bulletproof vest.
He's asking how you're feeling getting through it so far.
I'm doing pretty good. Just nervous about it, but I think I could do it.
And that's my boy.
And, but I know it pays pretty good, so that's why I'm doing it.
Well, that you've always wanted to.
Yeah. But yeah, it's.
I mean, we'd figure out the money situation one way or another.
Yeah.
It's just something you wanted to do for a long time.
Yeah, I know. Let's say if a bell is, let's say if somebody gets bonded out and it's the bell set for, what is it, 40?
I think so.
40,000. If a person go, let's say like with me going through the school, if I got my license and stuff for $40,000 for a skip, I get $2,000 from that for that 40,000.
See, that's what I try and tell him too when he gets down about it. There's times that he gets a little down and doesn't think he can do it, and I just tell him he's not giving himself enough confidence.
And
he's got a little more confidence in himself to do it and study. I know he can do it.
And I always have confidence in everybody else but myself.
That's generally how it works, though.
I always get people's confidence built up quicker than I can do myself. But yeah, it's something I always wanted to do, and plus it's less paperwork to do when you take them in.
Yeah, true.
That's why I'd rather do that, because instead of being a police officer, you got a lot of paperwork to do.
Yeah, because you got to get their name, age, address, what they did, where you're booking them, all that more in paperwork. So he's just going along. A little bit of a break. I think he studied a little bit today, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mostly it's phase 3, the hardest test.
Yeah, but you need to study all of them, because I'm sure a little bit of all of them is going to be on there.
But what was funny though, all with the pre-test, I missed less on than the others, and it was supposed to be the hardest test there is.
Yeah, because of what it is.
Uh-huh. And our instructor always told us if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. But yeah, I'll probably get through this. And there are some tests, there are some things that on the test, but that's not in the student handbook. So
Well, he gave you that other sheet that has
had
the
it,
yeah.
but
Because I guess after they made the books and his instructor bought the books, they redid it again right after and didn't put some of the stuff in there.
yeah,
So he had to print it off for them so that they can to help him and his classmates study and make sure they're not missing anything.
and Tish and Pooch, Miss Purdy and Pooch, thank you for the confidence.
But so that's what's kind of going on. I've had to move my rabbits 2 or 3 times because, well, Dan was the one closest to him when we had him, and Dan didn't bother him. He'd lay in front of him and just kind of watch him. Blue knocked him over once, and then we moved him, and then I don't know exactly what happened. I think it might have been too soft of soil or something, and he bumped it, and it caused the cage to fall again. I don't think he actually jumped on it like he did the first time. Um, and so we moved him again, but we might move the rope to keep old girl from knocking him over. Um, I don't think she will, but it's possible. We did let the one rabbit, the poor thing, it was the same rabbit twice that fell. I'm surprised he didn't have a heart attack. I let him in the chicken tractor today because because we moved him because that's when the second time happened, and right before we went out to feed him, luckily, so we're able to catch it pretty early and move him. I put him in the chicken tractor and he just enjoyed that grass. What's left of it anyway. But unfortunately, I can't put my 2 males together, so I can't put my other one in there. And in the summertime, it's too hot for him to be in there because of the way it's built. It's pretty much a sauna in there. Chickens are okay, but rabbits are not. And but we moved Blue to Dan's spot, and that's why he had hit him. And because he's got the longer chain, and Vincey's not yard trained. Um, we are working with that. He is doing a little bit better um, with listening. It's just getting him to that listening point to where we can train him to stay in the yard and he can be off of it. Until then, it's a deal,
But a
safety barrier for him, so he's not getting ran over or going in a neighbor's yard that doesn't want him in the yard. I know with one my neighbor, he don't care. As long as he knows it's our dog, he don't care.
Yeah.
But some of the other neighbors around do, so we got to train him. We try and train him to stay in the yard. Like Izzy, she'll go over in the neighbor's field and stuff. The one that don't care. Yes, full blown they do, but I have to have a place to put it. Put it first. I need to get another pen because unless you're breeding, males and females are not supposed to be with each other because the female will dismantle a male if you catch the drift. And then there won't be no baby rabbits. So, yeah. So I have to get another pin. I'm just trying to figure out and find some material to do it. I do have some wiring, but I don't. I did have to use a little bit of it in the one because of the way it was actually a dog crate with one of those removable trays, and I put some of that wire I had down in there. Well, roosters are nice too. We had one. He was an ornery snot until he seen me choke one of the hens, but that was because the hen was picking on our one of our newer hens, and I was getting in getting tired of him picking on, so I picked up one of the females and it's kind of let it know who's boss. And that rooster, it behaved ever since until it finally something finally happened to it. I don't know exactly what, but so he I guess he figured out who was boss and he wasn't going to cross me. And after that, the older hens didn't pick on the younger hens either because they were scared. They're like, oh no, I'm gonna die. She's gonna kill us if we don't mind. I know it might seem cruel, but I mean, we're trying to integrate them into the because we had two older hens and one rooster,
Mm-hmm.
and it was like 6 younger hens, and they all three were just constant. Yes, full blown we did too, but unfortunately last ones we got, tragedy struck that one.
Yeah, about three
Young raccoons.
3 ringtails got them.
Yeah. So, but being out in the country, that happens. We just didn't have a secure enough
deal for them.
Yeah, we should have reinforced it or something. But they found their way in there and found them some young chickens and some young guineas. So we just haven't got any more since then yet. Ben's we're still working on moving. There's just some more stuff we've got to get done. Excuse me. And of course, Teddy's going through school. So, which he should, after he gets done with this other test and his last phase, all he has to do is take the stat test and he's done. And then, I've got some things I gotta get lined out. Finding a job is one of them. Hasn't been too easy. So hopefully I can, and maybe just maybe one of these days I can make a what my goal is to have like a little mini store, that where we can sell our extra eggs that we don't eat, and of course my soaps and things like that in. And that's gonna be a while before I can get to that. And of course, figuring out the business side of it. So there might be a little bit of schooling I may have to go through to help with that. But until then, it's going to be, just a regular job for me. And then when Teddy gets done with his and gets situated, he'll have that, and it'll help me be able to be with the boy. Yeah, because you all have to drop him off at school and pick him up and everything. But and that's why one of the reasons why. But until then, it's going to be a little harder on us. Just trying to take one step at a time. But there's, like I said, there's a lot of irons in the fire. Trying to sort through and take it step by step to get to where we need to be is not easy. because it's like I got to do all of it at once. And then, of course, with me being on the more business side of things and dealing with finding a place and knowing how to pay the bills, not money wise, but knowing how to, I deal with that part of things, and so I'm just like, I don't know how to explain it. Yes, full blown. That's what we're doing. That's why I said later on down the road. Hopefully, after we get some of this other stuff done, like his schooling and stuff, and he's already going for school. Um, Unfortunately, with me not being native, I don't have the option for paid schooling, so it's gonna have to be when we get the money for me to go back to school. Um, Unless there's another program out there that they have, which we haven't. We've got some options open. Um, it's just finding out the full extent of it. But I have to have at least 20 hours so of work for them to help. So I just gotta find a place that's willing to work with it. And of course, Goofball's weekly therapies, because he's got home therapy and he's got outside therapy, and it just kind of switches off one day a week. And so getting places to work with that is not easy. Um, they say they will, and then they turn around and be like, "Oh, no, 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 I need you that." I'm like, okay, but you just said, because I don't know I had time that I do have doctor's appointments for them, just out of courtesy. And then they're like, "Oh yeah, yeah, we'll work with that." That time comes around, and they're like, "Oh no, 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 I need you here." And so it's just like, okay, what happened to that? I can work with that. I mean, they're scheduled in advance. I'm letting you know in advance. And now you're trying to say that uh, that you're not going to work with them. So that's kind of been what I've been facing with that. But it's for the boys' growth in a way. Um, so that's why I'm working on that, and it's taking a little bit longer than him getting into school.
Mm-hmm.
Because it was easier for you to get back in school than it is for me to find a job. But that's kind of where we're at on things. But we're still working on it. I don't know if y'all seen it, but I know Full Blown seen it, or Pooch seen it, excuse me. The videotape get tased, and I got a little bit of sad news for you. Unfortunately, Saturday we were supposed to tape the train show, and we got there and just totally forgot. We do apologize for that. Plus, it's getting permission to record too, because there's other people there. So that was another reason, but we do apologize for that. Yeah, I'll have to next time, because I mean that's kind of ridiculous for him to do that, and frankly not very nice. I know when you're meeting people, it's of course that when one of the times that happened, it was the lady was really busy, and she quickly pulled away to do an interview with me. And then it's just like when I told her what days it was, because I had rearranged them once, she kind of flipped and didn't want on what she said on me when it came around to it. So, but people are gonna run the business that their businesses the way they see fit. I mean, that's just how they are. I'm trying to.
I gotta go get me some tea.
All right. Speaking of such, you might want to put that in the fridge.
Oh.
I didn't realize it until now. But there is some ice in the deal. I made him some tea earlier, and it was cooling down, so it didn't sour when we put it in the fridge. Oh my lord! Did I lose everybody? It says we got 0 viewers.
What?
Okay, hold on. Full Blends commented, so apparently that's not accurate. I forgot to fill in something until after Yes, Full Blown. That's generally how it goes as far as wanting to film stuff and then like totally forgetting. Yeah, I kind of figured that when I seen your comment, because it's showing on our side that I have 0 viewers. Somebody else is coming on, I guess. And we may move our time up to 7. Take your spot, Pooch. Benji moved to Wednesday nights on us. Now we're all alone on our Thursday nights, and it seems like everybody wants to go to bed at around 8 o'clock anyway, or at least halfway through our live. So in order for everybody from going to sleep on us through our live.
and two, Pooch, how is Piggy? I haven't seen him commenting in a while. How's he doing?
That happens to Pooch. That happens too. I've done that a time too, and then like, oh, and then I have to re-say what I'm saying because we didn't hit record on the camera. But hopefully, Pooch is the. Yes, pretty. We probably will, like I said, because y'all moved up, and it seems like everybody wants to go to sleep halfway through our deal. Yeah, I've been wondering. I haven't seen any comments, and I know I think Aileen commented on the post of Teddy being tased, but I figured Piggy would as well. Hello, Cottonwood Ranch. Welcome in. So hopefully he's doing okay. Normally he says something or he's in watching, but I guess him and Aileen are busy tonight, which is fine. It happens. But yeah, so we might move up the time. We might try that next week and see how that goes. Move the time to 7 instead of 8, which is our normal time, which that's Central Time for those of you who are in North or South or whatever. So that would be 7 Central Time. But our ones we have been doing has been 8 Central. You're gonna put it in my face, aren't you? But also after the train show, kind of weird because we went to a pumpkin patch, but on our way there, we had seen it, and we're kind of wondering what it was, but we didn't realize it was pumpkin patch when we seen it on the way there. Yeah, my problem is Pooch is remembering to do it, and that's remember to. But it was kind of cool because we came across this pumpkin patch and we didn't realize it. So we're like, and one of our friends that was at the train show, they had their table set, and she was telling me about it. She's like, and so I told Teddy, it's like, I just want to stop and check it out. Of course, the boy enjoyed it because there's like a little petting zoo there, basically. And the boy enjoyed all the animals. He just loved it. He actually got upset when we moved him to the next animal. He started fussing, and then when he realized he was going to see another one, he was okay. And he then he'd fuss again when you move him until he realized. But it was kind of funny because it was that way until we went to the next animal. But he really enjoyed it. We found all kinds of pumpkins. Of course, you have your standard size ones for like your Declan. So we got one of those. I'll see if I can remember that part full blown. Posting in the Facebook pages too. I'll have to learn how to do that from YouTube. That's one I haven't quite learned yet to do. I'll have to fiddle around with it, I guess. But then of course you have your jack-o'-lantern size, which we might do that tomorrow. See what the boys' reaction is to pulling out the pumpkin guts.
The pumpkin guts.
So we might try to remember to film that one. And then of course we got this little tiny pumpkin here. And then we got this. And
then we got the funky one.
Yes, they had some funky pumpkins. And then they had this orange, green, and white pumpkin. Of course, they had dark green pumpkins and gray pumpkins, and I mean, it's just different types, really. So we have like three smaller ones for like decoration, and then we have the one. They got
the normal ones that we normally see, and they got the big ones
that won't fit in my car.
Yeah.
Of course, it being full of stuff that day too, like boys' bags and stuff. I don't think we could have got a bigger pumpkin in there. Because I was like, well, and they were a decent price too. I think one of the smaller ones was like 99 cents. The bigger one we got was 69 cents a pound. So depending on what the pumpkin weighed would depend on what we pay for it, but 69 cents a pound. And then two of them were like $1.49, I think. So they were pretty decent price. Maybe we'll go back and get a few more. I don't know, but we're gonna try to. This will be our first time carving a pumpkin, or at least mine. I don't know if Teddy's ever done it or not.
Carving pumpkins?
Yeah.
Yeah, I carved pumpkins.
You've carved them before?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so be mine and the boys' first time. I mean, I get the gist of it and everything, but I'm interested to see his reaction of reaching his arm down in there and pulling out the guts. What he's gonna do.
Mm-hmm.
That's gonna be funny. Help him stick his little arm in there, pull the guts out, and put it in the bowl, so I can bake the seeds later on. Have some pumpkin seeds, and that's pretty cool. I like to decorate for like through the seasons and stuff, but I haven't been able to do that in quite a while. Not since we had the house in town. The pumpkin bash. What do you mean by that? Full blown. So is that another like the cook-off thing?
Or another get together? Or...
Yeah. I'm kind of confused on that one. I'm kind of interested to know on that one, because I don't know if that, or is that something y'all are doing like as a church, or like get together for you and your family, or I'm just curious. I mean, you don't have to answer if you don't want to. The pumpkin gets smashed. Well.
Or take it out there and go pew pew at them.
Well, they're also good for dogs too. So once you can't use them anymore, you can always feed it to dogs. It's good for rabbits too. I don't know about a horse. Old girl's a little different. Of course, she's one of them horses that won't even eat an apple. So she just wants her hay and her feed,
and that's it.
Yep, nothing else. Just says. Oh, about the pew pew.
Oh yeah, the pew pew.
That's what I mean.
Yeah, the pew pew.
Target practice.
Yeah, the pew pew. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking about doing. Is you doing the pew pew.
Yeah. So
put a bunch of pew pew powder in it and light it and go watch it go poo poo.
Don't you get that all over me? I will whoop you, boy.
Or get a bunch of pew pew powder and watch it go poo poo.
Yeah.
Or put a bunch of fireworks in it.
What is it, baby dog? Come on. Come on, buddy. Oh, ouch!
Come on, buddy. Buddy.
He's trying. Come on, buddy. There you go. There's the baby dog. Feeling all right? You gotta hit your head on the stand there, bud.
I hear you on that one.
Ooh, is he?
Is he?
Doctor trying to knock over her stand tonight. But yeah, that's the baby dog.
The one-eyed chihuahua.
Yeah, the baby dog. He got a little jealous and wanted some attention, so she decided to come over here and didn't realize there was a camera stand there, I guess. He's loving the lovins. He likes to get by Tate's face and love on him that way. He's done that since he was a pup. You showing off, huh? Are you showing off? Thank you, Tish. And yes, Pooch, he is. He's a little crazy though. Certain people he don't like and will go after. Or should I say, I'm not saying this to be racist by any means, but there are certain races of people he does not like, and he does go crazy. It was actually funny because when me and Teddy started dating and stuff, he was kind of telling me about his dog, and he was telling me about Baby Dog, and he's just like, Baby Dog won't really like anybody but me. And it was so funny because I was like, when I moved in and everything with him and finally met Baby Dog, he just, I think I remember you said that about having an Izzy. Mine's a blue heeler Australian Shepherd mix though, so yours is probably a different breed as far as your Izzy. But he says he don't really like nobody, and I figured, okay, he's not gonna, I won't bother him, I'll leave him alone, let him be him. Next thing I know, he comes up to me and wants me to pet him, which kind of shocked me, after he said what he said about him not liking anybody really, and so that kind of shocked me a little bit. I call my Izzy Is or Izzy Boo. So I'll either go is or Izzy Boo. Izzy Boo. Come here, Izzy Boo. Izzy Boo. Not you, sister.
Come on, Izzy.
My Izzy Boo. Come on.
Come on, Izzy.
Come on. You can see her head a little bit. This is my Izzy. Yeah. She's the one that had the broke leg for a while. But she's doing good with that. Yeah, my Izzy. You want kisses, huh? But yeah, this is my Izzy. My Izzy's. But she's over that now, thankfully. She's doing good. She's back to normal. Back to her ornery self. Going after critters again, and back to her
Normal self.
Yep, just her normal self. So she might be a little bow-legged, but she still don't let it bother her. But she's back to normal. Okay, so Izzy's the one you call E, and then of course you got Mister. But yeah, that the black and white head with my Izzy. Blue is a rescue dog. Well, I guess Izzy kind of could be considered because the owner of Izzy, when her and Sissy's litter came around, there was a lady that posted them on Facebook and said she didn't want them anymore. Uh,
Good night, Purdy.
Guess good night. You get some rest, and we'll see you around. Thanks for joining us. Um, when their litter came along, she's wanted them because she called them an oopsie litter. Because what happened was she meant to breed their mom, which was the blue heeler, with another blue heeler, and a stray dog had come in and just basically wound up getting to her before, even though the mom was in a pen, the other the their dad had got in the pen with their mom, and there they are. So she wanted rid of them. That's how they got Izzy. I seen Izzy's picture and I was like, I bugged Teddy, which I didn't think I would want the one after my Lola died. Because I still miss her too. She was my baby. She was a boxer mix. Lola was, and I don't know what it was, but just I had seen Izzy and just instantly taken to her, and so I bugged him for quite a while until he gave in on said yeah, okay, and then next thing I know, Teddy had to leave the house for something, and of course Izzy was in that chew everything stage. I mean, chew everything. And so he had to come out here to his dad's, and I said, well, make sure you take her with you because I don't want her chewing up nothing in the house while you're gone, because I didn't know how long he was going to be. It could be 5 minutes, 2 minutes, anywhere from 2 minutes to 3 hours, or even longer than that. So I just said, take her with you. And his dad wound up seeing her. He's like, is there any more? I said, well, she's got some, but I don't know if she has any more of the colored ones, because there's about 3 of them that look like Sissy. They're all black. And so I messaged the lady I got Izzy from, and I asked her, and she said that there's no more colored ones. It was just the black ones. And I had told Teddy, and I said, unless your dad wants a black one, just let him know that that's all that she's got left is the black ones. And he's like, okay, I still want one. So I was like, okay. So I made another time to go pick up Sissy, and we brought her out here to your dad. And of course, we bring Izzy over for play dates every so often. And then we eventually moved out here, and sort of every day's play date for them. And then Rhodesian Ridgebacks. Yeah, those are nice dogs too. Blue, we actually rescued from the shelter. They're about a town over. And they had an adoption day where they took them to places like Atwoods and stuff, and just trying to adopt these dogs out. And seen a picture of him, and it's like, well, he looks. I was like, I like blue heelers too. I'm a boxer blue heeler type person. Those are two of my favorite breeds. Teddy would disagree and say he likes the American Black and Tan Coonhounds. Mm-hmm. But anyway, and Teddy showed me the picture of him. I was like, okay, so I called about him, to see if he was, because the picture was floating around saying that they still needed to get him adopted after that day. So I was like, so I called up there, and they're like, yeah, come and meet him, see if he's something you'd want, So I was like, okay. So we went up there to meet Blue, and we just kind of again fell in love with him, and I was like, okay, let's take him home. He's a bit of a derp and crazy, and doesn't know when to just does kind of odd things. He's a derpy dog. Um, but other than that, he's a good dog. Schnauzers, schnauzers are okay. Small's like the smaller breed. I I'm not sure. Chihuahuas are okay. They're just kind of
They're ankle biters.
yeah, they're little ankle biters. Pomeranians are kind of fluffy. Well, what's that? Oh, what is it? There was one. Not a. It's like similar to a pug. Not a Pekingese. It was one of the kind that you wanted.
Oh, a French bulldog.
A Frenchie, yeah.
A Frenchie.
French bulldog.
No, the main real dog I would like to have is a English bulldog.
I like Frenchies. But you know those breeds can they go for high dollar. Just like my mom had a Lhasa Shih Tzu mix. So I mean, of course, you got the Yorkie poos and also doodles and things like that. You know, nowadays. And that's probably what Mister is, like you said, Yorkie and a poodle mix. Hence the Yorkie poo. Of course, I know that it depends on what breed his mother or father before they call it a Yorkie poo or whatever. It's weird. You know, you think either way they call it. Sorry, Ben. They'd call it you know, an Aussie Doodle or whatever. But well, I'm kind of at a loss right now. What do you say?
That's what I say.
Okay. Oatmeal squares. What do you mean by that, Pooch? You sure that's not something for a party? Oh, you must see the cereal behind me. I'm just trying to figure out what you're talking about. No, I figured it out. You're talking about the cereal behind me, the oatmeal squares. As long as you like cinnamon there. As long as you like cinnamon oatmeal squares. That one kind of just went right over my head. And it's sitting right over my head.
Have to get him one.
I can't believe I didn't even think about that one. I wasn't even paying attention to what's behind my head. I was like, what on earth is he talking about oatmeal squares? He must thought he was talking to Purdy or something. And accidentally typed it in. And then I happened to see it. It's like, oh yeah. One of them skipping gears type things. So yeah, I can't believe I did that one. You can see it well enough to read it well enough too. That's pretty funny though. I guess I gotta next time you make comments like that, I gotta pay attention to what's behind my head, or should I say around me, so that you make a comment like that, I know what you're talking about.
I know how Piggy can get a good kick out of it, have a good laugh though. He needs to watch a video of me getting tased.
Yeah, that would make his stressful week feel a little bit better. But I'm glad they're doing okay. I'm glad they're doing okay. And too bad they had a stressful week.
Yeah. We've been thinking about them a lot.
Yeah, of course. Ours has kind of been that way too. Not getting in. Thank you for blown. We appreciate that. So we understand the stressful times. I mean, I was kind of getting to the point where I didn't know if I wanted to go ahead and cancel tonight or not. Just because some issues had come up. So I was like, well, I've already scheduled it, so very, very least one of us needs to. So I was like, we'll go ahead and do it. So here we are. But hopefully Saturday, Eileen will still do hers. I keep forgetting that I keep thinking 7 o'clock, but hers is actually 6 o'clock. So it throws me off because they're in a different time zone, and so it says 7, and there actually comes on at 6 hour time.
An hour ahead.
Yeah, so yeah, it throws me off. I'm gonna have to get back watching those so that to help support her and stuff. I feel bad for not watching them, but by the time I remember, she's already done and over with. I'm like, oh no. Or halfway through or something, or I get busy. All right, Pooch. We will, like I said, next week we'll move it up to 7 instead of our usual 8. So we'll move it up to 7. And I didn't know nothing about the family night openings. That's unusual. I didn't expect that because they've been doing that for
a good since Shoot Dang.
Well, before that.
Yeah.
So it's just like, yeah, I know, and that was you had to fight Drizzlings for that. But yeah, we didn't know that. But Wednesday nights, unless it's earlier, like 3 o'clock or something, it would be a little harder for us to do it. But I think, because I think the first one starts at 5 on family night. Family, yeah, I think it starts at like 5 and goes down to Vineyard Farmhouse, I think. Yeah, we kind of figured that one, Lindsay kind of won that one out. I'm just glad it didn't get any messier than it already was. And then I know that Mississippi 3, or used to be Crotch Ranch, snagged a spot too. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Pooch was 5 to 9. I know they say do some late night ones, but because we had thought about doing a late night one, but with everybody, just kind of on ours, just halfway through going to sleep and stuff, is like, well, what's the use in doing a late night one if there's nobody to watch?
Yeah.
Of course, we're still on the lower spectrum so not people from other countries know about us, I guess, and so that's
And
probably why.
I know, three. I know, three Mississippi. I know, Sadie's husband Mike was interested in our soap.
Yeah. For those of you who don't know, I do uh make my own soaps. I even added laundry soap to the list. Well, yeah, but I even added laundry soap to it. But for those of you who may be interested in um, getting some or have any questions, you can either email me at the our email address that's listed in our about page. Uh, then, well, I'm gonna lose my train of thought here. Sorry, guys. Um, you can either ask me questions on there or something, or you can if you have a Facebook, you can go to Cook Family Homesteading page and it's listed there, or you can find it on Wix.com, Wix.com. Um, which I heard somebody else, I think it was Brian from Vineyard Farmhouse, was talking about uh, Wix cleaning something or other, but it was spelled differently. But this is a website that you can go to, so you can find my soaps there. It does have. I do take requests if there's a certain smell you want. I also make original lye soap. Um, so just in case y'all are interested and you want to find them, that's how you can find it. And if you forget, you can just, like I said, just go to the about page and email me, and I will get back to you as soon as I can, and let you know. Of course, I have my sugar scrubs too, and my salt scrubs. That's another thing I sell. I'm working on shampoos. I just haven't got there yet. But I did just add the laundry soap, and it is a liquid laundry soap instead of powdered. But I can make powdered if somebody wants powdered. Um, but I personally use the liquid myself, and I don't have any problems with it. But and we like it. It gets our clothes clean.
Mm-hmm.
So, and cheaper than going to buy it at the store too.
Mm-hmm.
That's why we like it. Cheaper on us than going to Walmart or someplace like that and buying laundry soap. What? Tuber chat?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Keep an eye on that one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That's our phone. That is our phone.
No, he said dog.
Dogs. I didn't see it.
He's referring to Blue.
Oh,
he hears Blue. That's because the window's open. With him, he's still learning, so it could be the horses in the pasture next to us, or it can be a cat or something walking around out there. I'm not entirely sure,
Or
because
a possum.
he pretty much barks at everything and anything right now. So we hear him barking. It's like, I want to check it out, but knowing how he is, it generally turns out to be nothing. But I'm surprised you actually heard that from outside. But he is raising a cane deer. You might want to. Okay.
Ooh.
We are helping a homestead out in the next. Love homesteaders. Okay. That's nice. Teddy actually went to go see what the dog is. You know, we're about to close ours because it's getting a little on the chilly side here. But we keep ours open for the same reason. Sorry, I'm trying to keep things in. Yeah, I bet you are. The fresh air is nice, but we don't want it to get too terribly cold. That's why we're going to be closing ours before we go to bed tonight. Because it's a bit on the chill side here. You had another one say hi.
Oh, okay.
And then their little robot thingy. Good to see you get to the farm. Yeah, I just seen your comment on the tuber chat. Sorry if I wasn't paying much attention to our live at the moment. My husband went to go see what our dog was barking at. Vince, our reliable alarm for critters, passed away. So this one's still learning and barks about just about everything. So he's probably just barking at the horses or something. But you know, we enjoy doing this. It does get a little crazy with the scheduling sometimes, and you know, we do have other things we have to take care of at times. So we're sorry.
We do appreciate
we do appreciate that. You know, we're learning about new channels ourselves, and we try to support when we can too. It's just trying to keep up with everybody, and you know, trying to remember who's on when, and trying to keep track of everybody's posts on when they post something. Right now we're on lives. We're trying to get more content out. We've been a little bit behind due to the fact that we're possibly moving from our current location to another location.
And good night, Pooch.
Yes, you get you some sleep. We'll see you next week, Pooch. Thanks for joining us. So we try to do that too, but it's just trying to keep track of everything along with everything's keep track of everything. Like you said, just pop in and out. I mean, the other day I was bouncing through I think one or so either 2 or 3 different lives I was bouncing around in. I go from one live to another, you know, just kind of watching for a while, and you know, comment if I there's something to comment about, and then I go to the next one, do the same thing, and it's just kind of bouncing around. So sometimes you have to bounce around too. So we understand that. But we're glad you could join us. And like I said, we'll be moving up to 7:00 next week on Thursday nights. That's Central Time again for those of you who are not in the same time zone. Be 7:00 Central next week, and I'll try and get up the posts sooner to notify the ones of you who do get notifications for us that it will be moved to an earlier time. Ben's full blown has moved his time, and his slot is open. That way, not everybody's falling asleep on us at once. So, of course, it took Pooch a while to go to bed, but that's understandable. He's generally willing the last one's out anyway. And I know that people like his wife and Miss Eileen, they go to bed pretty early, so I expect them to, because they go to bed probably about halfway through our live, and then which is fine. We understand that they got their schedules, and I know that they're pretty busy women. So we just try and keep them going, and we will, like I said, we might, I don't know if we can remember, we're trying to record the pumpkin, the jack-o'-lantern making, see how terrible it turns out. And try and post that if we can remember. It's just getting to where remembering to do everything along with all the other stuff we have going. But yeah, we'll get there eventually. Right now it's just a small homestead. We got our rabbits and we got the dogs. We had chickens and guineas at one point, for those of you who do not know. But we lost them in an early stage due to some critter getters. So, and of course we explained that back on a couple of lives, and I think I explained it again earlier in this live. But hopefully we'll be able to get some more later on. But right now we're just trying to concentrate on the dogs and the rabbits. Dogs like Baby Dog, he's just strictly a loving dog. Blue and Izzy are a little more of working dogs, but Izzy's more of a loving dog too. So we're trying to. Blue's still pretty. He's still pretty much young. He's about a year old. Well, him and Izzy both are about a year old, and but due to their mix, Izzy's a bit smaller than Blue, even though they're both blue healers. They're both blue healer mixes. Blue is an Irish setter blue healer, and then Izzy's a blue healer Australian Shepherd. So due to the fact that she's part Australian Shepherd, she's a bit smaller, even though they're the same age. Which that took me a while to remember, to realize that they were the same age. But he's newer to us, and he was, when we got him, he was in the shelter. He loves to play, but he also likes to try to chase our neighbors' horses and nip at them. A few times he has been off the training lead. He's tried to go after our neighbors' horses, which is, I know that neighbor don't care, but if it would have been anybody else, it probably would have been disastrous. So we try and keep him from doing that, since they are not ours. And of course, we have a little girl, and he occasionally, if she gets too close, he tries to hurt her. But she's old and just don't care, so she ain't gonna listen to him. Of course, she's set in her ways, which is fine, being an older horse. But we probably need to let everybody go, since I think, well, it looks like one. And well, thank you for everybody for coming in and joining us tonight. We do appreciate it. And we'll see y'all next week. If and when y'all get to pop in. I know some of y'all are busy, like Get to It Farm. You mentioned earlier that you tried to pop in when you can. We do appreciate it, and thank you for watching. And we'll try and get some more content out. that was the reworking of the editing.
And our next Thursday would be on at 7 Central.
Yes, next Thursday we're gonna move up to 7 Central. Like I said, I'll try and get that posted early. I may go on and do that tonight. I don't know, but I'd have to get the exact date to make sure I'm getting the right day, or I might do it later on or a little closer to time. And but we're slowly working on it when we can. But it's hard with this possibly moving. It's kind of hard to get any more major things right now. Until we know for a fact whether or not we're going to, because if not, we'll have to rehome or temporary home, until we can move on to where we relocate, if we get to. But we do appreciate everybody stopping in. Even if it is just for a couple of minutes to say hi. We give support when we can, or at least trying to. We may not be the best at it,
but we're still learning.
Being newer YouTubers ourselves, we're still learning. And the editing software and stuff I'm having to redo that and change of the computer, because my own computer what could put on me, so I'm having to find different ways to edit it, to get it to where we want it to be. But we hope you all enjoyed tonight's show. We'll let you go. We will see you next week at 7 p.m. Central Time on Thursday. Thanks for watching.
Thank you.